Hello and Ashe. Today, I would like to, first of all, let me ask you, how are you? How are you doing? Those people who are watching my channels, are you enjoying my channel? Do you want me to do specific videos about specific things? Please tell me, comment below, and I would answer any questions you might have, as long as that they are in good taste. And today I wanted to talk about this spell that I made. I made it up, but it's based on a pre-made item, so it's not completely my own, which is called the Seed Pot Pension Spell. Now, I saw floating around in books and even on YouTube a lot of summoning a particular sum of money, or summoning, money flow and making money mojo and making money spells in general. But what I didn't see, which I think is an old style thing but should be coming back, is protection from poverty spells. Now, the thing is this: in order to live comfortably, not, requiring a lot of money, in Israel one needs 9 million shekels, which is basically almost $2.5 million. Living comfortably in Israel is difficult. The food is expensive, housing is expensive, we have a lot of poverty running around, and I think this is the time to start to reintroduce protection from poverty spells. Protection spells in general are all well and nice, but you need to specialize them sometimes, and protection from poverty is one of those things. Now, during the 80s and the 90s, the pension was the thing, meaning you would work in a specific work for 20, 30, 40 years, and you would accumulate a pension that would be a stable, normal thing that you would get after you would retire. But the pension market has gone awry, and people don't have any assurances for the time in which they are stopping to work. So, comes the question, how can we magically protect ourselves from poverty in our later years, and how can we magically protect ourselves from poverty now? And there are some traditional recipes around, and in Hoodoo there are the shishi recipe. Shishi is like this word for fancy, okay? Which are today mostly used to summon money, but when you see their composition, you see that they are very protective. That they are containing like angelica and cloves and bay leaves, and those are very protective herbs that that are used for protection spells. So you realize that money and protection to protect the money flow is an important thing. But I haven't seen many discussion or many or magic done in this thing. So this is my specific spell. You can adopt it and you can do many things with it. But allow me to just say, this is not for beginners. This is not a spell that junior witches should go and do. And this is the what I called the pension protection seed pot money spell. So let me show you the seed pot. This is a seed pot. As you can see, it's from the Acoma Native Americans. And the thing is this: in the past, they would make pots like this with tiny holes, and they would put seeds from the old year And when it was time to seed, reseed and, the new plants for next year, they would break the pot open and would seed the plants. But today, those are made mostly for their aesthetic value, and you would agree that this is a very beautiful thing. Now, why the hole is so tiny? It's so that rodents couldn't get inside and eat the seeds that are inside the pot. So the pot is protecting the harvest of next year. Okay, this is what it would do. Now, during the 70s and the 80s, Native American art was more predominant, and they would love those pots to do all sorts of flower arrangements, using them like a bud vase and stuff like that. And you can probably find them around in vintage shops. It's not so difficult, especially if you live in the USA. But if you don't live in the USA, eBay and the internet is your friend. You can get those. But I urge you to get those from Native American people or their makers. If you can get in touch with the makers of those pots and buy a pot from them, that would be the best. Now, invest in this spell the money that you feel comfortable with. Meaning, you can get something like this. This was a $75 thing, okay? Which is, this is the money that I could invest in it at the time. And you can go crazy and buy a sterling silver one, or get one that is so highly intricate and artistic that it's like museum quality. You can go as simple or as expensive as you want with this, but paying the Native American that made this the money is like, it's basically part of the offering that charges the spell. Okay? Now, you take the pot and you cleanse it by dipping it in seawater. Okay? This is clay, so seawater shouldn't do much bad things to it. But this is a spell which I urge you to avoid. Oils or dripping wax over it, because you want this thing to stay clean and pristine for years to come. And also, dust it when it needs to be. Dust it, okay? Keep it pretty. This is what I'm saying. And oils might smudge it, and wax might, make it disgusting. So, don't necessarily keep this on your altar. Keep it in your library. Keep it somewhere safe where it wouldn't be knocked over and falling down. Because, many witches are Oya heads, and the Oya heads, they make chaos everywhere. If you're a chaos witch, you're a chaos witch. Keep this protected. Every storm has an eye. Keep it in the eye of the storm. You can put it in the living room. You can put it something where its beauty can do some good. Okay? Now, wash it with seawater and dry it, and pass it through the incense to your gate opener. So basically, the gate opener would keep the gate of money flowing for you. Now, when you eat a fruit, save the seeds, dry them in the sun, and put one seed a month during a special date. You can decide that the 15th of every month would be the special date where you put a seed in it. Now, the first 3 seeds belong to the gate opener. So choose fruits that your gate opener in your traditional likes. For instance, if in your tradition it's chayote, go chayote. If in your tradition this is something else, let it be something else. And in months in which you made special money, put inside a little gem, like a small sapphire, or a small, or amethysts, or whatever. Basically, you're accumulating the wealth in this pot, and that represents the accumulating of your wealth to your later years. Never break this pot. Keep it whole. And I think this is something that after you die, you can move the spell forward to your child and your grandson and give them the rules. You know, this is the wealth that we have accumulated. This is the symbol for the wealth that we have accumulated. And this is the spiritual center of which this works. And how does it work? This is basically sympathetic magic. This is a pot made of earth, which is like the surrogate mother of the seeds that would hold those seeds safe until next year, until the pot is like broken open and the seeds are removed and being sown in the fields. Now, because those are never to be broken, there is always a cache on the side. This is the symbol of there is always something else. And there is always something else to be protected. And there is always something extra. And while this wouldn't make you extremely rich, this would make sure that there is like this constant saving coming your way. And this is like, you know, sympathetic magic in its oldest, most pristine form. And I've been doing this for several months now. You can hear that it has some stuff in it. And also I picked this one because I love the colors. It has like my gate opener colors, red, black, and white. I find the form very appealing. It's not too small, it's not too big. It can like lay in my hands like an egg. And you know, egg also represents new life and rejuvenation and things like that. And again, spend on it as much as you feel comfortable, because this is like a magical tool. You can have a very fancy one, or you can have a very plain one, or you can have a vintage one. But you know, I think that even though this is a spell for years, this is a spell that is supposed to last forever, okay? As long as the fetish is intact. And yes, this spot is becoming a fetish. So does the spell would continue to grow and, you know, being maintained. So also, you know, pick something that you would feel comfortable to be like, you know, years. Like, make it like years. Keep it for years, okay, around you. Okay, so this is my spell. Do you have any questions? If you do, please post them below. And also, I'm saying this is an advanced spell because someone needs to be very comfortable in their magical path to commit for a spell for that to go on forever. So don't go do this like willy-nilly or think that, you know, okay, this is another thing for my collection and it would look good on Instagram. Do this only if you're willing to commit to it. And every once in a while, when you're giving observances to the spirits of wealth, pass it through the smoke of the spirits of wealth. Or, you know, if you are giving observances to the spirits of the earth in general, pass it through the smoke of the spirits of the earth to keep it. To keep this intact, to maintain the physical form of earth baked into this seed pot. Okay, goodbye. I hope this was interesting to you. Bye-bye.